Hello everyone. How are you doing? I got little late in publishing the 6th episode. So, first of all, please accept my apologies for that. Actually, I was trying to figure out other alternatives for the recording, and that was a reason for the delay. If you haven't listened to previous episode, then I would recommend you to listen to that first before you start today's. And if you haven't subscribed to Mother's Gurukul podcast yet, then don't forget to do that. It will help you to stay on track as the episodes of this series, Parenting One Step at a Time, are going to be in an order. Like we have started with pregnancy, then we talked about new parent anxiety. After that, we talked about infant colic state and how to handle the colic state. And now we are on the topic around siblings. My previous episode on siblings talk was from my viewpoint on how I see my past, present, and future around this topic. I will not call today's episode as a part 2 of it, but it is definitely another dimension that comes into picture when we talk about siblings, and that is single child dilemma on sibling talks. If you have been with me from the beginning of this series, then by now you must be knowing me briefly. But for all the first time listeners, let me introduce myself first. I'm Alpana Dev, I'm your host. I'm an author of A Girl in the New Town, a blogger at mothersgurukul.com, a freelance content creator, and a mother of 2 lovely kids who are my greatest source of inspiration for all my parenting posts, articles, and now podcasts. Welcome to Mother's Gurukul podcast. Having 2 kids or having just one is totally a personal decision and nobody has to interfere in it. Reasons could be many for either of the choices. Kids who are the only child do not understand the complexities, but there is a lot that goes on in their mind. Their understanding is not yet developed and they go by what they see around them. It is seen kids when reaching an age where they understand the meaning of having a sibling or they hear their classmate talking about their new baby brother or sister, then it is very obvious for them to think about it. Why don't I have a sibling? When they see their friends have someone to play with, and on the other hand, they always have to look for play dates with their friends, then the desire of having a sibling gets even stronger. They come with so many questions, and many times it is really hard for the parents to answer them. I have even heard and seen parents saying that since the elder one was asking so much about having a baby brother or a sister, so we decided to go for a second one. Personally, I feel that that is not a justifying answer. But as I said, having a single child or going for the second one is a personal choice. So let's leave that discussion here. Bringing a new baby into this world is a very big responsibility. And kids don't understand many things. They are not aware of many other scenarios that comes in picture. I want to talk about the things that we can tell our kids and make ours and their life beautiful, because I know it becomes sometimes really stressful for the parents and for the kids when they talk about the sibling issue. There are few questions that usually a single child can think of. When I'm going to have a sibling, or why I don't have a sibling. If my friend's mom can have a new baby, then why can't you? I get bored. Whom should I play with? My friend plays with his or her baby brother or sister, and I don't have anyone to play with. These can be some general questions that I can think of, that a single child can think. Their thought process is influenced by their friends to a great extent. They see many things through their friends' eyes. My daughter was a single child for almost 8 years. As per her understanding level, I have always talked openly to her whenever the topic of having a sibling came in the picture. In fact, when I decided to prepare for this post, I asked her, now when she has a little brother, how does she feel? She said, good, that now I have someone to play with. Before having one, she hardly mentioned about not having a sibling or asked about when can she have one. Whenever we had a discussion about siblings, we always tried to explain to her that it's okay to be a single child. Not everyone has a sibling, and she has cousins. Sometimes cousins are even way too close. But yes, we never said to her that they can take the place of a sibling. But we told her that she can have a close bond with her cousin. My niece is in her case. My niece and my daughter are very close since childhood. They are 5 years apart, but still they are very close. Also, we never said that by not having a sibling, it's good that she doesn't have to share her stuff with anyone. Instead, we encouraged her desire to get things for her cousin every time she was getting something for herself. If we further discuss this topic, then there could be many angles to it, like what could be some possible reasons of parents deciding for one child, or what could be the right way and the right time to tell the child about them. For this episode, I wanted to have a positive touch. I wanted to focus on those areas which a parent can do if they are concerned about having a single child, and if by any reason they cannot go for a second one, then how can they make the thought process of their child positive. I can only say that just to postpone the discussion or to avoid the discussion, parents should not say things jokingly. For example, are you ready to share your favorite toy with someone? Or mommy will not be able to spend time with you if the new baby comes. Such sentences puts a wrong notion in the child's mind, and if in case they happen to get a sibling later, then it is very hard for them to accept it wholeheartedly. So never ever use those kind of sentences. As I said, if you are among those parents who have one child and you want to bring that positivity in the overall environment of your family, then there are few things that you can do on personal level. Encourage more interactions within the family and outside. Invite friends for play dates so that the child can enhance the social skills. Though he or she is your only child, don't spoil them by giving in to all their demands. Set your expectations and ensure that your child understands the consequences of irresponsible actions. And yes, allow your child to express the feelings about others having a sibling, because sometimes there is so much of going on in their mind but they don't speak up. Once your child is of a suitable age, provide an explanation about your choice of having only one child and assure that it is in his or her best interests. From the time they turn 2, teach your child concepts of sharing and giving through stories, gameplays, pretend plays. Spend as much time as you can with your child to make sure that they are not alone. Bring home a pet if you want, and if you think that your child feels very lonely, as pets provide companionship. I have written a blog on the same topic, and that particular topic or that particular blog idea was requested by a reader who read the sibling post. And since we have already talked about siblings, so I decided to do an episode on the same topic. And when she suggested me this topic, it took me a while to put together my thoughts. It was much hard to put it into words than how it sounds. I I talked to a few of my friends who have shared their thoughts on the same topic, and I hope that I have done justice to my readers' suggestions of writing on this topic, and I have done justice to my listeners of this podcast by discussing on this topic. In the next episode, which will be the 7th episode of our series, we will talk about parents' involvement in kids' play. We often think that young kids don't need structured play. Their plays are more impromptu ones. So, what could be our role in that if they are going to do everything on their own? Agreed. But even at that young age, they need our involvement. We will talk about that in the next episode. So, stay tuned. Till then, stay happy, stay blessed. Happy parenting.